So in my last video, I kind of talked about what the boys and how they were empowered within the religious cult that I grew up in. So let's talk about kind of the mindset of girls growing up within this religious cult. Hi, my name is Kristin, and I grew up within the IFB, or the Independent Fundamentalist Baptist Cult world. So as I discussed in my last video, the pastor's son and I were a thing all throughout my teenage years. We couldn't date, but we talked, right? And he was really empowered to kind of almost have an authority over me. And the role that I took, it was very interesting. So he was actually called to Germany to be a missionary. So what do you know? I actually took German lessons from him because I saw myself as marrying him when we were older. And my mindset as a 13, 14-year-old girl was marriage, was how can I please my husband? What can I do to be a helpmeet for him? So for me, that was one of the things I wanted to do, is I wanted to learn this foreign language because that's where he was called, right? And then, obviously that whole mindset of at those very young ages was marriage and what can I do for that? And then the other thing that I've talked about before is that I was kind of tasked with his purity as well. If we were on a missions trip to Mexico, which we took a couple of trips there, and let's say him and I were walking around, it was my job that if there was a woman walking by with what would be considered to them like a bad outfit or a revealing outfit or a billboard or a picture in a store, I was to tell him that that was coming so he could look the other way. That was my job, to help keep his eyes pure. So it was very interesting. Not only was my only goal was to be a helpmeet to my husband, and so everything that I did as a teenager revolved around that, but it was also my job as a girl to help keep him pure. So not only how I dressed and how I talked and everything else, but to control the things around and to control his eyes too. Absolutely crazy now that I think about it, but it really just shows you the boys were empowered to almost have an authority over us. I was taught to be submissive and listen, and then also have the responsibility of keeping him pure.